can you feel me?
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
I fell and lost to the war, shot me dead. I was lost and I said to the voices in my head, I gotta get up again. I gotta get up to another day. I'm not giving up again. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up again. I gotta get up to another day. I'm not giving up again. I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna look into my eyes, my heart beats like a drum. You listen to my lies. Love is far to come. Your love is far. Running at the speed of light, kissing under city lights. Calls me in this morning time, but it just goes on. Running at the speed of light, kissing under city lights. Calls me in this morning time, but it just goes on. Gotta get up again. I gotta get up to another day. I'm not giving up again. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get gonna get up
One minute left. Yes, sir. Are you ready to rumble? I love stocks. I love them. I'm actually playing piano in this track. This 100 a Million original. That's Blue Star Theory on the vocals.
searching for higher ground. Can't
First
see in
time.
front of me.
Who did?
My enemies have tried every possibility.
Yes,
to know if I
sir.
can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it
Yes,
tonight.
sir.
'Cause I can fly. I can fly. I can fly.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. How we doing tonight? Who we got on stream tonight? We got I'm Mr. Roboto, a boy named Sue, young Uncle Daddy, Whiskey Ginger, Cat on the Line, Blue Star Theory. You the real ones. Don't worry, I'm gonna put out a thirst trap tweet right now. Hang on, and then we'll get Mr. Roboto Trade on the line. Chair Kitty, what is going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got Mr. Roboto Trades in the building. Woo! Yes, sir.
If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly.
How we doing tonight? How'd you guys do today? There we go. That's right. We have a kitty on the stream. A chair kitty. What's going on? Pillow Lido. I don't know how to say your name. And I will never know. Let's kick back this music here. We got Mr. Roboto Trades on the line. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to get him on the call right now. As soon as I figure out how to do that. Yes, sir. That's the man. We're calling him right now. What's up? Good day, Grambler. Was a nice bullish day. What's going on, Mr. Roboto Trades?
Yo, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
I thought for sure you'd never invite me back on here.
After that last time, I considered it. How was your day today? Okay.
Today was good, man. Today was really good.
Awesome.
You know, there were some big moves to the downside that I caught late in the day that, you know, turned a small base hit day into a pretty decent day. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. How about yourself?
No, good, dude. My watch list consisted of HX, which we had in 9s, and that ran at $21. Absolutely insane. Looks primed for tomorrow, too. I'm kind of done with that, but it looks great.
It looks pretty good.
And then FCell is the other one I'm looking at. I still think this gets a run up on the daily. It's got an excellent looking little bull flag here into support, which I like. We played that a couple days ago in this green candle, and I'd like to see something tomorrow or next week. So it's kind of a swing. So I'm looking at that one. CEI is another one we were looking at.
Okay.
I'm always playing the QQQ. There's another one. CIFR was another one for a swing to $10. Dude, it hit $9.52 today. We had that since yesterday. So that's another one that kind of ripped right there. I still think it gets over $10 though. It's a kind of a Bitcoin mining play, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cypher mining. That's a nice play. The chart looks great.
I remember these tickers because when I used to play small cap, I remember some of these tickers for sure. Like I pull them up on Thinkorswim, and it's like I still have some levels on some of them.
Oh,
so that's kind of interesting.
That's interesting. Okay. When did you start trading again?
Right around December.
Gotcha. So okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Of 2020, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Made 2% from PayPal today. Yeah, PayPal was nuts as well, actually. What's the ticker
PayPal
for
was
that?
crazy.
PayPal.
PYPL.
There she is. Yes, sir.
Whoa, that's a big knife. That's awesome.
Big ol' nasty dip there. Did you play to the downside? You made 2%, so maybe you caught the bottom. Interesting. All right. Well, basically, the plan for tonight, traders, if you're joining us, is we're going to recap the day. I'm going to talk to Mr. Roboto Trades, go over some of his charting on some tickers that he played. We'll talk a little bit about supply and demand. And we will build a watch list going into tomorrow. I think that would be pretty cool. And it'll help a lot of people to see you know, kind of how you build your watch list. We did this the other night with Mando Trading, and it was pretty interesting because he's a major flow trader. So to see, you know, kind of your style and what you like to look for live during like the market week. You know, like last time we talked, it was a weekend, but now we're Wednesday night going into Thursday. So it'd be cool to see kind of how you put yourself together. I think.
All right, man. I guess we're just gonna wing it, dude. Because
of course,
you know,
yeah. That's how we do, you know.
I've been taking a nap since after market closed.
Yeah.
Dude, I was exhausted, so I just pretty much been napping and checking Discord every once in a while. But
gotcha. I just got back from the bar, so I'm ready to go.
Okay.
We're both ready to go.
yeah, for sure.
All right. Let's start off by doing kind of a recap. I don't know if you want to pull up some charts or if you just want me to pull up some stuff, but
yeah, I can pull up some charts.
Sure.
Here,
yeah.
let me share my screen.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Cool.
What's going on, T Furbin? Yeah, I can. Yeah, let me make it max there. There we go. You watched Can run today. That was pretty sweet. Thanks, Chatter Quant. Damn. Is Chatter in the chat today? I think he's doing... Oh, he's in the chat. What's going on, Chatter? I thought he was doing... I think he did do his stream earlier, actually, at 4:30. I'm not sure. But anyway, go ahead. Let's see what you did here.
Yeah, so I wasn't actually Microsoft. I played Microsoft puts. That was probably one of the bigger plays I did today. I wasn't really watching Microsoft, man, because if you look at what it's been doing, like this action yesterday, like I don't like trading this type of action, right? It's super choppy. I mean, even if you're a bull or a bear, like if you can lose money on this either way, right?
Right.
Super choppy, super choppy. Like these type of days, like the day before, this is a great day to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
This price action yesterday kind of turned me off from Microsoft. You know, it's like it broke all-time highs. So my thought was it's probably just going to consolidate for a little bit. And that's kind of what it did yesterday.
Right.
And it did a little bit of that again today, but there was a setup on it that I saw, you know, after open.
Okay.
So pretty much like, you know, let me pull up VWAP here. And I walked through this on voice, but at the time, QQQ was sort of, it was nearing like a pivot point. So I figured like Microsoft would also be pivoting potentially.
Okay.
So here, let me pull up VWAP real quick. So essentially right here. So there's like a small little 5-minute demand supply zone right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was in confluence with this VWAP touch, right?
Right.
And then at the same exact time, like if I pull up, let me just do this. So if I pull up QQQ, oh, that's not right. If I pull up NQ, right? And then Microsoft right here. So here's Microsoft, and then here's NQ, right? So NQ was doing this, right? So I already had a thesis that today was going to be a choppy day, right?
Right.
Just off of this price action in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then QQQ went all the way down, and then it was rallying back up. So my guess was that it was potentially going to either like reject from the tops or potentially put in a small higher high and then reject down. But if you notice, like when this happened, so I'll put this on the 5-minute. So when this happened, this was around 10:30, right?
Right.
And this was exactly 10:30 when Microsoft was doing this, right? So again, there's like 3 periods of confluence here for me.
Right.
That's why I took this short. And the 3 points of confluence was essentially, God, I always take off VWAP and then I put it back on. So the 3 points of confluence for me was, one, it's going into this 5-minute supply, which is, it's like a 5-minute supply is a very weak supply zone, right?
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes you can get intraday trades off of it, right? So you have the price action going into this 5-minute supply. You have this Microsoft potentially rejecting VWAP, right? At the same time, I know on a chop day that NQ could potentially make a higher high and then reverse, right?
Right.
Because you see this all the time. It'll go up, it'll go down. The bears will, I mean, like the late bears will chase it, and then they'll get bagged on the way up, and then the late bulls will chase it, and they'll get bagged going down, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, these 3 points with, you know, 10:30 here, 10:30 here. So I entered puts. Like I literally got puts on the bottom, like the last bid. So that was pretty interesting. I thought that they were gonna bring the price above VWAP, like to really get some bulls in there,
Right. Yeah.
and then slam it down. So I didn't get full bids here. I had more bids up here,
Okay.
and that's where I really wanted to get filled, right?
Right.
Because like, you know, you got to kind of think of like, well, if I was a market maker, what would I do, right? If I was a market maker, I would do a 5 minute close above VWAP,
Mm-hmm.
get all the bulls excited, get them chasing, and then slam it down.
Oh
That's
yeah.
exactly what I would do as a
Oh
market
yeah.
maker. So
100%.
so I had bids here. I was hoping to get filled, but I did get filled right at VWAP. And then I just wrote it down. I wrote it down. The supply or the demand that I had was
Yeah.
right here.
Gotcha.
So
That's perfect.
yeah, it was perfect. I'll show you how I got that. But oh, so right here. So essentially, this was all time high,
Gotcha.
and that's where it broke. And then I actually got this level off of extended hours.
Okay.
So you'll see right here. Right here is where I got the start of this zone, and I just brought it down. But that's essentially it. So I wrote it out. I scaled some around here. At low of day, obviously. There's always a chance it double bottoms and goes back up.
Yep.
Scaled some like right around here, and then took some off. Took it all off there.
Of course. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great entry.
That's
Great
awesome.
entry. I was hoping, like, I wish I would have got filled full,
Oh
but
yeah.
it was still fun. And
Damn.
yeah,
That's interesting. Okay.
so yeah, all of that was based off of my thesis here on NQ plus Microsoft.
Okay. Got you. Interesting. And was that the only trade you took today?
Nah, I took another trade. QQQ. I took QQQ puts. That was a really good trade. And this was kind of this was like I kind of woke up, because I was done trading. I didn't want to trade during FOMO hours,
Right. Right.
so I kind of woke up like around 1 just to see what the indices were doing or something like that. Or I think it was like around 1,
Okay.
and then I saw QQQ like starting to do this, or NQ started doing this, right?
Right.
And then there was this big volume push right here as it broke this pre-market level.
Okay.
As it broke this pre-market level, there's a big volume push on the 5 minute because you'll see it right here.
Yep.
This is the first candle, and then there was a second candle with big volume.
Above average. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so the thing for me is like, where is this going to bounce, right? So
Right.
if it does knife down, what is the reward, right? So let me go to NQ here, and then for me, I went to the 30 minute. And I'm looking for where is it essentially gonna go, right? So if it does knife down, like it's gonna break through here, right? There's no demand zone here. There's nothing. So this is like wide open space for the price to go to,
Right.
right? So
Right.
there's a big potential reward, and the nearest demand was right here. So this red basin candle was the nearest 30-minute demand.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I literally woke up, saw this price action. I did this charting really quick, and I was like, "Oh shit, there's some
Like,
room here.
okay.
there's like some room here. Let me just go ahead and slap it." So I literally slapped it like right around here.
And
And
did you go heavy on that, or did you go kind of light because you already were green, or?
it was pretty light,
Okay.
but it was good. It was a good trade, really
Right.
good trade.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, definitely. Look at it. It's beautiful.
And these went 170%,
Holy
for the
shit.
most part. Yeah, because I did 0 DTEs on this.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Got you.
yeah.
Shit,
Yeah,
dude.
so yeah, that was a really nice trade. And I felt bad for some of the people because I wanted to alert it to people in my Discord, but I couldn't because it was just such a fast
It was so
trade,
quick.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like such a quick assessment, and I've seen these type of flushes before. I'm like, okay, there's a potential here, and the reward is so good, right? So if imagine if the demand zone was like right here, right?
Right.
There's nothing there. Like, there's too much risk,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? So I probably wouldn't take that trade. But knowing that there's like
All that
no
room.
real demand till down here, it's like it was almost a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely, man. And that on high volume too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So took it here. Did a lot of scaling around here. It went up a
Yep.
little bit. Did
You're like,
some did
whoa.
some more did some more defensive scaling right here.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I think because at this point it was like at 50% already. So
Oh, for
like
sure.
here, yeah, it was like 50%, and then it went up to here. I was like, I'll take 30%, right? And then a huge flush came, and at
Yeah.
this point, I was over like 100% at this point, and then scaled some more out, and then I'm just riding out like my remaining shares down here, and then my best scale was 170,
Damn. That's
170, and
crazy.
then it popped back up, and I took the rest off at like around 130, like right around here.
Okay.
It was very small at that point, but
Right.
I was like, well, damn, I'm glad I woke up at that
Yeah,
time.
shit. You woke up perfectly. Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, it was good trades. I mean, there was some good trades in the morning too, but these were actually these were better trades. So yeah,
Okay, cool. During the FOMO hours. Um,
it was a little bit after FOMO hours, So
gotcha.
the Microsoft trade was before FOMO hours.
Yes, yeah. There is a question in chat from T. Furbin. How many tickers do you familiarize yourself with on your daily list?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
So here's my list. Here's my list. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like 25 in here, right?
Okay.
I have a larger list. Like I have this list that's called my money list, right? And this is like a large cap universe. There might be like 40 tickers in here or something.
Okay.
Usually every night I'll run through these at least on the daily charts, right? So just
Right.
so I can get familiar, so I can like be familiar with like what every one of these stocks is doing.
Gotcha.
Half of these probably don't have a setup, right? Half of them
Yeah.
are like maybe a week or two away from potentially having a setup, right? So sometimes I will like upgrade one of these tickers to my more focused list, right? Which is this should be like about 10 tickers. There's a little bit more than normal right now, but usually my focus list has about 10 tickers, right? And I'll take
Okay.
stuff out and I'll put stuff in from my larger list.
Gotcha.
But these I will do more than look at their daily every night. I will actually chart most of these every night.
Okay.
Just so I can be familiar with them. But then even with my focus list that I'm charting every night, I'll identify like maybe 3 or 4 tickers that I really want to focus on
Right.
at night, and then in pre-market I'll like that way like I'm only like really focused on those 4 tickers, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
in
because you can't have a
pre-market,
list of like 12 tickers you're looking at. It's too much, right? You
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
narrow
it's
that
way too
down.
much, right?
Yeah.
So I like to bring it down to like about 4, like usually like 4 to 6 tickers at night. And then in the morning, once I get more pre-market stuff, I'll usually narrow down that 4 to 6 down to like 3, right?
Okay.
And then that's it. That's all I'm looking at. So
Gotcha.
stuff will break out in the background that I'm not looking at. Like that's fine. That's like shit can pop off. I don't care. I'm focused on the stuff that I have already identified as having potential setups.
Right.
And then some days none of them might do anything, right? And that's
Gotcha.
totally fine. That's totally fine.
Oh yeah. We got another question here. Which time frames do you like to draw your zones on? I assume that means supply and demand.
Any time frame that works, so
I always say like
I-
the
I-
larger the time frame, the stronger the zone is, kind of thing.
yeah, so the thing is, the larger the time frame, the longer the price is potentially going to take to like make a move out of that zone, right?
Right.
Does that make any sense? So like for
Yeah.
example, like if you're drawing like a 4-hour zone, right? And then you say you get an entry in a 4-hour zone, and then like in 15 minutes you're like I'm going to cut this position cuz it's down, right?
Right.
Just remember the price based in that area for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like if you're only giving it 15 minutes to do whatever it needs to do, like that doesn't make sense, right?
Right. That's an excellent point.
Right? So like intraday, like I like 1 hour and 30-minute zones because that's usually about how long I will hold a position. Like, I log all of my trades into TraderView, and then TraderView tells me, at the end of the month, how long was I holding an average position. And like for me, it's like usually like, I don't know, some months is like an hour, some months is like an hour 30, whatever, right?
Right.
So that aligns with my using of 30-minute zones and 1-hour zones, right?
Got you. Okay.
Now, if I was like a day trader who can like buy in the morning and like fuck around, don't give a shit until like literally end of day, right? Then maybe like it would make more sense if I was using like 4 or 6-hour zones, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
I mean, that's not always the case. Like you will see some price like bounce like strong from a 4-hour zone, but like generally that's like what I'm thinking, right?
Okay, cool.
Like I'll see some people, they'll have like a daily demand zone on their chart, right?
Yeah.
And then they're using the daily demand zone
To scalp.
intraday for like a scalp. Like that makes no sense.
I hear you. Yeah, that's a really
Right?
good point. I think that is a common error with these
Right?
supply and demand zones. Yeah, I hear you.
The price literally sat in this area for an entire day. And then like you're considering cutting it, or like your stop is like 10 cents, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dude,
I failed it.
it based in this area.
For
It
a
had like
day.
a $5 range in this area for a day,
Right.
and your stop is 15 cents. Like that
Yeah.
makes no sense. Right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I hear that. That's an excellent point. That's a really excellent point. Roboto's making too much sense. He needs a drink, says the Lord Vengeful. What's going on, bro? How are you?
Yo, what's up, man?
That's awesome, dude. Let's do a couple minutes of just quick pointers on supply and demand, if you could do that.
Quick pointers, right?
Yeah.
So
Just like
I will say-
absolute basics. Like where can someone like just start, tonight, let's say. Nothing crazy. We'll save that for our YouTube video we're making. But just some quick stuff.
so supply and demand, like really it's all right. So I'll just start off where I start off.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course, yeah.
So I'll go to 1 hour. Okay. This is how I start off. Okay. I'll do 1 hour. So let me just chart something that I haven't charted yet. Right. Let's do square. No, square shit right now. Let's do Apple. All right. Let's do Apple. All right. So let's do 90 days on Apple. I'm looking at the 1 hour. Okay. Let me just do it like this. Okay. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking at where the price made a large move. It can make a move down or it can make a move up. Okay. Right. So now I'm looking at the origin of that move. Okay. So for example, if we look at this move, there's a big move down, right? So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a green basing period on this move down. Okay.
Okay.
It has to be green, Well, actually, it doesn't have to be green. I prescribe to the camp where it for supply zones I look for green candles, and for demand zones I look for red candles. Some people don't, right? But that's how I do it. I haven't back tested not doing it that way, but I've always done it this way, so I'm not gonna about the change, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so here I'm looking for a green candle. I don't see one. Okay. So now I got to go to a lower time frame to potentially see one, right?
Right.
Okay. So now I see one, right? Do you see it?
Yes.
It's right here. Okay. So this is a potentially a 30-minute time zone or time. I'm on the 15-minute for some weird reason. Okay. So here's the 30-minute, right?
Right.
So now I know that the price based in this area, okay, before selling. All right. So now what I'll do is I'll take the open of this green candle, this green basing candle, so on Thinkorswim, I have to do this. So the open is 155.02. I like to, sometimes I like to be precise about it. Sometimes I'll guesstimate, whatever.
Yeah.
So this is a supply zone. Okay. I'll do red. right? And then I will bring it up. My zone is literally to the top of this. Okay.
To the wick or the candle?
To the wick, to the top
Okay.
of to the wick of the green candle.
Gotcha.
But there's nuance to this, right? So sometimes I'll have another wick up here or something. Sometimes I'll have a wick here or something or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like sometimes I will bring it up to that wick. Sometimes
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm the
You
same
know,
way.
like
Yeah.
literally, like it's like a feel, like
Yeah,
you know what I
I
mean?
know what
Like
you mean. Yeah, yeah, I completely
sometimes I'm
agree.
like, yeah, this zone's a little too small. Let me just
Yeah,
make it a little bit bigger,
I do
right?
that
So
all
I
the
did it
time.
here.
Yeah,
Right?
100%.
It's whatever.
That's
But
so
anyway, so
funny.
now this is a 30-minute zone to me, right?
Right.
This is a 30-minute supply zone. Okay.
Right.
Now let's do a demand zone, right? So now I'm looking for a place where the price made a big move up. Okay. So, like this is like really choppy. Like I would probably move to a larger time frame if stuff was this choppy, right?
Right.
Because I would rather just lump it all together as
Yeah.
opposed to like trying to be precise in a zone that we know the price was chopping around.
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me, right? So for example, like around here, right? So if I'm looking for a place where the price could potentially drop to tomorrow, right? Like this all of a sudden becomes interesting to me, right? So this is a red candle and then it had a large move up, right?
Yes.
This is a potential zone, a potential demand zone where if the price gets back here, they might bring it back up, right?
Well, yeah.
So I'm on the 30-minute, right? So you could draw a zone here, a 30-minute zone, right? But for me, like the price is all the way up here. Like I don't need to be like super precise because it's so far. It's like not so far, but it's like the price is not close to here yet. So I don't need to be super precise yet, right?
Right.
Now,
Right.
once the price, like say the price starts getting to be like right here, right? Then I'm gonna like analyze this area a little bit closer to get a more precise zone if there is one, right? But for right now, I'm fine with just a 1 hour zone. So if we go to 1 hour, you'll see that there is I still have the same area. Wait, what did I do here? Did this must be extended hours. Yeah, it's extended hours.
Okay.
Okay, so I took this off of extended hours. All right, so I took this whole basing area, and this is my 1 hour demand, right?
Gotcha.
I just didn't draw the box here because I was lazy this morning. But essentially, this is it. So that's the basics. You got your supply where price will sell off, and then you got your demand zone where people will like bring the price back up, right?
Gotcha.
And you just play in between those all day long.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes like over time, that's like yeah, if it was that easy, like everyone can do it. But there's so many nuances like to this that you have to know. When is it likely that a zone is going to fail, right? Where like and then over time you're gonna realize like, okay, what time frame should I be using for this specific move, right?
Right.
But yeah, that's I don't know how basic you wanted me to do, but
That's good.
basically it.
Yeah, cool. If anybody has any questions, you can post in chat about supply and demand zones. If not, I think we'll move into the next segment. And if you want to kind of walk us through, I don't know if you already built a watch list or if you had one for the week already and you want to add or take away stuff from it. But if you could kind of show us some watch list stuff, I think that would be pretty cool. Or maybe some setups going into tomorrow that you've been looking at.
Yeah, I haven't looked at anything yet. I usually do that later tonight, but
yeah.
no, that's fine. We can walk through a couple. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of like looking through. It's like NQ. Like I trade a lot of tech stocks, right? So NQ, which is the futures version of the Nasdaq, is kind of where I gauge my the general market context for tomorrow, right? Obviously, we're working with not all the information because there's still going to be some pre-market stuff that happens. But
Right.
If I'm making like a general like thesis on NQ right now, right? To me, and I've had this sort of thesis like the past day or so now, I think we're due for like a pullback, you know, like a
Right.
small pullback, right?
I was just thinking that too, based off that
Because
chart.
you know, because like look at how we're sort of extended, right?
Yep. It's kind of a downward
We
channel
did,
break there.
yeah, we did make a higher high here, which is a really good sign for you know, the midterm, what's going to happen, right? But you know, I could see us, you know, coming back down to retesting this trend line break, right? So there's this trend line here that we broke, right?
Yep.
We did test it here, but I could see us coming back and retesting it, right?
Yeah,
So
totally.
that's a potential, right? And so if that's the case, that then a lot of tech stocks are going to do something similar, right?
Right.
So then I would be looking for demand zones, like potential good bounce spots for those stocks, right? But here's something interesting that I saw. Where is it? I think it's here. Yeah. So if you look at last time we had this big pullback, right? So I've been doing a lot of comparison lately of this move, right?
Okay.
To this move that's happening now. I've done a lot of comparison here where
Right.
it's almost exactly the same it's almost exactly the same
It
move.
looks
Like
very
literally
similar.
it is.
Yeah.
They're both the same. Like there's a pullback. The pullback is like almost actually like the same depth
It's
also,
almost
right?
identical. Yeah. That's weird.
It formed a inverse head and shoulders. The move that we're in now has an inverse head and shoulders,
Yep.
right? And then it broke and made new all-time highs. Well, if I'm comparing, if we do the same thing that happened here, there was no major pullback, right?
Right.
So here's the trend line, okay? Right? And what I'm talking about now is like maybe there'll be a potential pullback to this trend line and then bounce.
Right.
But this never happened.
Okay.
Right? This never happened. So here we're like literally at the same inflection point now, right? You know, so it'll be interesting to see if it actually does do it here, goes and then breaks out, or if it just does one of these types of things, right?
It's
and
almost
just
like a
keeps
bull
going.
flag, almost.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm considering. And then the interesting thing is like the volume here is almost exactly the same too when I was analyzing this.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so
And so this is kind of your thesis for the day in general.
right. So my thesis is that I have no idea what's going to happen, right? It's either going to pull back or it's going to keep going.
Right. Yeah.
That's
But based
fine
on these
because-
levels,
because-
you know what to do.
Yeah, but that's fine though, because now you're playing a little bit more tentative. You're waiting for the market to develop, right? Because if it breaks up, I can be late to this. Like, here's the thing. Here's like what people don't realize, right? So if it breaks up, right? Say it breaks up, right? I can be late to the move and still catch a good portion of it, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Now, if it breaks down, I can be late to the move and still catch a good portion of it, right?
Right.
But like if you're like cementing your thesis right now in this area, right? You're gonna lose like if it goes the other way.
Well, yeah,
right?
exactly. So you kind of have to
So-
wait.
Yeah, you have to wait. I mean, you can play the smaller moves, right? But so
Now, do you actually play NQ, or will you play other stocks based off NQ?
well, I played QQQ today off of NQ.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. But so like the thing I'm trying to say is like this area right now where we're at, I think it's like if you're trying to enter like a new long position, like a swing or something, I don't know. It's kind of like we're in this indecision area. Like if you might get better prices down here if it does go down here, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But like really, if you wanted to get in long, like you should have been like around here, right?
Right.
Right, or like down here, right?
Right.
But maybe you scale in here, and then if it goes down, you go in further, right, or whatever.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it can go either way. We're essentially trading in this range now, right? We're essentially trading in this range, and until we, like right now, if you're making your decisions in the middle of this range,
You're screwed.
You're 50-50 at that
Yeah.
point, right?
Yeah. That's where the
so-
gamble begins.
Yeah. So wait for it to go up or down and to tell you what it wants to do, right?
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that's like essentially my thesis generally on QQQ or NQ. So that's
Okay.
kind of like that's gonna bleed into how I analyze some of these tech stocks, right?
Right.
So Apple, for example, has a very similar looking chart, right? But the thing I like about Apple is that it broke down and then it retested this trend line, but then it failed, right?
Yep.
But that's fine because the second time it retests it, it might be stronger. Like there might be less sellers at that point, right?
Gotcha.
So now you can see it actually pierced this trend line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there might be, maybe it starts flagging here and moves up into this, right?
Right.
It actually looked better on when extended hours was on. Yeah, so when extended hours was on, it was actually firmly above this trend line, right?
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know if that makes sense or not, or why that happens. I think it's how they do their like price calculations or whatever, right?
Right.
But I'll do whatever looks better to fit my thesis. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah. So
Yeah.
this is interesting, right? So it broke through this 4 hour supply. There's another 4 hour supply here, right? If we zoom in
Gotcha.
on this, it can kind of potentially look like it's it's flagging a little bit, maybe. But this could also be. This is really interesting here.
That
So
move is interesting. Yeah.
it did make a lower low right here, in this upper wick. That's kind of interesting. And then this is actually a lower high from this
Right.
from
Right.
this right here. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe pre-market will give us more info, right?
Yeah.
But
I do
was
want to
interesting.
ask you a question from the chat from Abu Stocks. Hey man, quick question for you. If you use supply and demand zones for entries, what do you use for PTs? Is this when you'd use support and resistance levels as places to scale? Question mark.
All right. So I'll use zones, right? So sometimes I'll
Right.
use zones, right? So I'll look for like on this Microsoft trade today, right? That was all based off of this. My price target was this demand zone, okay?
Right.
This demand zone, like, so the supply was up here and they brought it down to this demand zone. So this was my price target, right? But there's obviously levels that I'm going to be scaling at that just make sense, right?
Yeah.
So for example, like I said earlier, this double bottom, like if you're not taking money off here, like what are you waiting for, right? Because there's so many times where it bounces, does a double bottom, and it does something like this, right? And then now you're gonna be like, oh, I did it again. I didn't take my profits.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
do you like, so obviously you want to like scale out at important milestones in the road, right?
Yeah.
So here, I like, this was another milestone, right? This was a previous support, right? So, this is another good spot to scale money, right? It blew through this, so maybe you didn't get your scales out. But like, if I was up here, I would be targeting this now, right? That I'll probably take some more off right there, right? And then there's just a supply zone here. That's the ultimate price target.
Yeah, 100%. Another question from Brewmaster Bro. How do you take your entries in a demand zone? Do you just slap when it hits the area, or do you wait until something sets up inside of it?
Oh man, it would be so easy if you could just slap, right?
Right.
Every time something goes in a price in a zone, you just slap it. That would be so easy. Everyone would be so rich.
Oh yeah.
But it's not that easy. Over time you like develop this sense and like understanding of like when a price is going to break through, when a price is not going to break through. A lot of times I'm using volume as volume price analysis to improve the odds in my favor, right? So if I see buyer exhaustion, right, and it's and the price is about to hit a strong supply zone, right? So now all of a sudden I have two things working in my favor that will like increase the likelihood that the price is gonna drop from this, or it's like gonna move down from the supply zone, right? So, and then you're kind of weighing those two things. How strong is this buyer exhaustion that I'm seeing? Is it like slightly buyer exhaustion, or is this like obviously buyer exhaustion, right? So you're weighing all these factors, and then you're trying to put the whole picture together to like. For me, I see it sort of as like a calculation in my head. Like every piece of confluence in my favor just increases my odds of being correct, right?
Right.
And then increases my odds of like potentially entering that trade, right?
Right.
Yeah, there's no way you can just draw supply and demand zones and then think you're going to be successful. Um, you know, if you see a green demand zone, you buy, and if you see a red supply zone, you sell. That's just not that's not how it works, right? And then also you have to take into consideration the entire market context, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. When drawing a supply and demand zone, how much do you take account of the volume traded on the volume profile?
Do you mean the volume profile, like on the daily, like this blue thing, or are you talking about just volume down here?
That's a good question. Yeah, the
Oh,
blue thing.
the blue thing. To be honest, I don't take it into consideration too often, mainly because I'm not drawing zones off of the daily too often. If I am, it's usually like for potential swings.
Right.
So I'm like, for example, if I go to my hourly, like I don't even have a volume profile, so it's not something I take into consideration too often.
Awesome. Aba Stock says, so basically VPA, supply and demand zones, support resistance, use these as confluence against one another, and you're chilling.
No, not yet, not yet. There's so much more. Again, there's market context, right? There's
Right.
ticker personality, right?
Right.
There's just so much stuff, and then wrap all that together, and then remember you still have to have risk management, and then emotional intelligence, or not emotional intelligence, but emotional discipline, and then you're starting to formulate this picture of like a potential consistent trader, right?
Yes.
But you need all of those, because you can have VPA, you can have supply and demand, you can have support and resistance, you can have market context, but then you blow up because you oversized on one trade, and then all of a sudden 2 months of work is done. Like then you're screwed, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're almost chilling.
Almost chilling. Excuse me. Risk management. Risk management always gets my ass. I have a great ass day / week, and then risk management kills me. This whole week has been red because I have trash risk management. So maybe we could give some tips on that.
You said it yourself. You said it yourself.
Yeah.
So the thing is, for me, I knew this was going to be a problem. I knew this was going to be the thing that I need to solve very early on, right? Not necessarily risk management, but discipline, right? Everyone else was focused on, everyone is so focused on technicals. Everyone's so focused on whatever strategy, whatever edge you're looking to build, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is important. You have to also build that. But like, no one focuses on risk management. No one focuses on emotions and like really reflecting on, why did I revenge trade again? I just told myself 2 days ago I wouldn't do this, right? Or why did I size up for some reason, right, on a subpar setup? Like, why? Like no one like thinks about this, or they might think about it, but then they don't actually make the moves to, or the steps to like fix it, right?
Right.
But yeah, that's I look at it as something today about it. It's like, it's not necessarily the money that you're losing. It's essentially the time, right? So if you're a disciplined trader for 2 weeks and you like fucking, You were patient, you waited for your entries, you scaled out, you took your profits, and you were a very disciplined trader for 2 weeks. That's a lot of effort. That's a lot of work, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But then you blow up in one day. Like, dude, it's not the money, it's the time and it's like the effort that you put in that you just lost, right?
Yeah.
So I look at it as that's what's more disappointing to me. Yeah, the money hurts too, right? But that's really what's disappointing to me.
Gotcha. I hope that helps. I have a question from Imperial Burrito. By the way, I just want to say this is really funny, dude. I gotta mention this. The text in my mod chat or whatever says Colonel permitted the term ass fucked. Anyway, Imperial Burrito would like to know when there's no clear level to base off for your stop loss, like on the Microsoft VWAP trade. What is your go-to plan?
Well, I mean, for me, it was like essentially, I was gonna risk off, probably high a day, right? Because remember, I had bids here, like I had bids like up to here,
You're gonna
right?
keep filling, yeah.
Right? And the my target was down here. Okay, so
Right.
the risk to reward was pretty okay at that point, right? And I knew if this move was going to work, I was at least going to get a 1-to-1 because like this was going to be my first scale, right? This double bottom. Okay,
Yeah.
so this was at least a 1-to-1, and I had like my heavier scales or my heavier entries up here, right? So the worst I would be risking was like right around like, let's say this much, right? So at worst it was a 1-to-1 if I would have gotten filled full.
Right. Yeah. No, totally.
Right. Or if NQ, the other thing I was gauging was like if NQ doesn't reverse,
Yeah.
I'll probably just cut it, right?
You're side to side with that, right?
Yeah, because like here, like, if NQ like all of a sudden like spikes up to here to this supply zone, I'm probably just gonna cut it. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm just out, right?
Gotcha.
Because like I needed NQ to reverse. That was a part of the thesis.
One thing that I love that you brought up too is that like you're prepared for that double bottom play. Like you always got to think, and I preach this a little bit too, but try to imagine both setups from a bull and a bear perspective. Like what is each side looking for?
Oh, 100%.
I think that's super critical.
All I do all day long is like, so like what I like, and I preach this to people that I work with and I trade with. It's like I'm always asking myself, right? So like for example, like if I'm analyzing, like say the price got down to here, right?
Right.
All of a sudden I'm asking myself, if I was a bull, a smart bull, right? Would I be buying right here? Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Would I be buying right here? Right?
Right.
For me, the answer was no. Like if I wasn't in this trade and I was looking to get in this trade long, I'd be looking to get in down here. Like
Right.
I would, this is where I'm looking to get in. This is not where I would be getting in, right? So, if you ask yourself that question, you're kind of like, okay, well, maybe if I'm short, I can hold this a little bit longer, right?
Right.
Because there's no zone here. There's like I look through this.
Yeah, it's choppy. Yeah.
It's choppy, right? Yeah, there's a zone right here, but like it's a pre-market zone. It's already been tested, right? And here's the other thing. So you can kind of gauge by the strength of how a zone was violated. That can kind of tell you what's gonna happen next, right?
Right.
So let's look at this, right? So here's a demand zone, right? So this is a demand zone using this red candle.
Yeah.
It's a choppy ass demand zone, right? So that already tells me it's not good. Okay. And you see how strong this zone was violated? It was just, they just blew through it for the most part, right? So that kind of tells you, do you really think this zone all of a sudden is going to hold up?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So this zone got violated, they brought it way down. Do you really think this little zone all of a sudden is going to hold up this entire downward pressure and bring this price back up.
Exactly.
No. You know, only like a novice bull would be buying here, or maybe scalpers, right?
Scalpers, maybe. Yeah, that's true.
Sure. Now, if I'm looking to go long on Microsoft, I'm targeting this. Okay, so that gives me confidence if I'm short to potentially hold my short to down here.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that's.
No, gotcha. That's good.
I forgot what the question was, but yeah.
Nailed it. Got 2 more questions in chat here. I'm gonna read yours in a second. Abu Stocks. I want to read Colonel's first. Are you scaling into every play, or do you ever go full on the first ad? I think it depends, but go ahead.
It depends. It depends. I'm probably never going full size on the first ad, right? That just probably doesn't happen. But you know, I can go heavy on the first one and then like maybe have like, you know, another sort of heavy position or heavy bid like later on also. But
Right.
I'm never full size on the first one.
Gotcha. Perfect. And then the last question I'm seeing here for now is, does the way you draw supply and demand zones differ from small caps to large caps?
I don't think so, but I'm much better drawing them now than when I was trading small caps. So there's that.
Okay. Just trying to figure if this is a question or not.
Yeah.
Before I used to go hard on the first breakout and then scalp from there. Now I scalp into the position and then add on supports, but when they fail, I'm heavy AF and then take a big ass loss when I have to cut.
Wait. Where is that question? I'm looking for it in the chat.
I'm not sure it's a question. I think it's more of a statement. That's Brewmaster
Okay.
Bro. It's the fourth one up there. Not a question, but just want to thank you guys. Mr. Roboto, I've been following you on Twitter for some time now, and you're a total stud. I love your supply turn demand strategy. There you
Thanks,
go.
man. Truly appreciate that.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I hope it's worked for you, man. There's been a couple of really good ones recently. Like this one. Look at this. This shit was perfect.
That's perfect, dude. You wouldn't read about it, okay? That's crazy. Damn.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Thanks for the kind words. I really hope some of you guys are taking some of the stuff I'm putting out there and you know,
100%.
making some bank with it. That's really awesome.
So let's kind of move towards the end here. I know you haven't really looked yet, but anything that you got your eye on for tomorrow, maybe due to market sentiment?
Let me see.
I know Facebook was one. That's a good call there.
Yeah. I'm always looking at like Apple, Microsoft, Facebook. I'm kind of interested to see what Tesla did today. I know it did this.
Interesting.
Who knows? So I was in UPST. I actually cut it before the end of the day, but what I was looking at was this, you know, so I was hoping that it would actually bounce here. It did. So, you know, I got really, really small profit out of here, and I was planning on holding this overnight, but I ended up cutting it at the end of the day, my remaining shares for slightly break even.
Okay.
But I'm interested to getting into some of these like strong stocks that are kind of pulling back a little bit. So UPST is very strong, but it's pulling back. I think ASAN is really strong. It had a slight pullback, but it went back up.
Yeah.
And then NET, for example, is a swing that I'm looking at. Again, really strong stock, and it's pulling back. So I want to get in it. I'm just waiting for the right dip.
Okay.
It's more swings. AMD looks good. It's consolidating right now, so it's kind of interesting to see what it ends up doing, right? But so it's in this range, right? It did break out a little bit, and then, you know, it's holding this a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see what it does.
Gotcha.
So the semis in general, I think, have some more room, but I think they might just pull back a little bit. So there's the SMH, which is the semi ETF.
Okay.
So this kind of helps me gauge the sentiment of semis like Nvidia, Broadcom, AMD,
Oh,
those
gotcha.
tickers.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever SMH is doing, a lot of those semis will like follow it, right?
Okay.
So it's right now it's in a gap. So SMH right now is in this gap right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it fills this gap, right? So, you know, 271, if it gets up to 271, that's going to be really good for tickers like AMD and Nvidia, AVGO, which is Broadcom, you know,
Right.
all of those tickers are going to benefit from it because they make up that ETF, right?
Right. Yeah, of course.
So yeah, so I think semis, just by virtue of SMH being in this gap, I think potentially might have a move.
Okay, cool.
That's something I'm looking at. I'm not saying they're gonna go up tomorrow,
No, yeah, of
but
course.
there's a potential, right?
So I kind of have a question. I've actually never looked at NQ or SMH before, so you kind of use them as indicator stocks. Do you have any other like main indicator tickers that you look at?
There's always ES and SPY, obviously, right?
Yep.
And then I look at the ETFs that make up SPY, right?
Right.
So there's like XLK is the technology.
Right. All the XLs.
Yeah, all the XLs. XLK is technology. I'm always abreast of what this is doing, right? So if XLK looks like it has room above, then I might be a little bit more bullish on a couple of tech stocks, right?
Right.
And then XLF also is another one, right? So XLF broke out. So this is the finance sector, right? So if you're looking to play your JP Morgans, your I guess Mastercard is a part of it, and you know Wells Fargo and all that. If you're looking to play these, XLF is definitely something you want to look at. So it just broke out of this range, right? And
Right.
it's like breaking out. So I think now it might potentially
Pull back a bit.
pull back and test this range, and you want to see it do something like that, right?
Right. Yeah. 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 That makes sense.
And then the other thing that I'm kind of always abreast on is the Treasury index, right? So when the Treasury goes up, right, that's not a good thing for tech stocks because it's more expensive for them to loan out or like to borrow money or something, and that's what a lot of these growth tech companies need. They need to borrow a lot of money for as
Okay.
little as they can to fund their growth, right?
Right. Right.
So when the treasury yield goes up, generally what you'll see is like tech stocks will go down. Now it's interesting because the treasury yield right now is going up at the same time that technology stocks are going up, right? So
Interesting.
that's kind of an anomaly, right?
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Right.
I
So
imagine if it keeps going up, right? Eventually, the tech stocks are just going to be like, "Oh man, this is too expensive,"
they have to drop off.
and then they might pull back, right?
Yeah. 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 That's interesting.
Yeah. So this is all the stuff that's in the background, and then obviously there's VIX,
Yep.
the inverse. Right? So you're always looking at this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are the main things that I will have on like on a side chart that I'm always kind of keeping an eye on.
Right. Right.
Or not necessarily like as much intraday, but like I will at least take a look at them at night. But intraday, I will have at least like NQ up and ES up, right?
Right. Okay. Okay. No, that's cool. Interesting. Any other questions from chat? If not, we actually just got one. How do you consider gaps and possible gap fills if further back in time there is no gaps?
Damn, that's like 3 questions in
What?
one.
Yeah, wait, what? Hang on. How do you consider gaps and possible gap fills if there hasn't been a gap before? Look at SMH again, he says.
Okay. What about it?
Help us out, MD Base. Help us out. I'd love to answer the question. How do you consider gaps impossible gap fills if further back in time there aren't any gaps? I can see the gaps recently, but before they are filled. Oh, like an actual gap, like a visible gap. I think that's what he's saying. If there isn't a visible, like there's like, see how there's no candles there? There's an actual physical gap. He's wondering if that isn't there, how do you tell it's a gap or not? I think that's the question.
I'm slightly confused, but
I'm a bit confused as well.
how do you consider gaps impossible? So in general,
Just explain
right?
a gap. Just explain a gap.
Right. So in general, a gap is a period in time where the price moved very, very quickly. Okay.
Right.
It's filled to the left already, but it's not filled.
It's essentially an area where the price isn't agreed on by buyers and sellers.
Right. So the price moved through here very quickly, right? So you see this right here? You don't even see it here because it happened in after hours, right? There's a big drop in price, right?
Yeah.
So there's literally like there's no buyers and sellers. There's no large amount of buyers and sellers in this gap, right? So if the price moves up, there's no one there to sell, okay? And if the price moves down, there's no one there to buy, right? So a lot of times gaps are like an area where the price will like move through and like, you know, either fill it in or, you know, or don't, but like, or reject from it. But like, you know, for me, like generally, if the price is like hovering around like 75% of filling in a gap, right? It may fuck around here for a little bit, but like eventually it's going to get filled in, right? Because it's already done like 75-80% of it, right?
Yes.
That's not always 100% true, obviously, right? But that's like my mindset, right?
Gotcha.
But yeah, there's like no one there to sell to bring the price down, you know, considerably, and there's no one there to buy to bring the price up considerably, right? So like, you know, the main players are going to be up here and up here, right? So, you know, the price is eventually going to get to one of these main players.
Gotcha. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope that helps, MD Base. On the topic of gaps, let's say price gaps up. Would you consider that price point prior to the gap up as a demand zone? Question mark. I never know how to draw supply and demand zones at gap up/down.
I mean, yeah, 100%. Because think about it, right? So, you know, let's see if I can find a gap right here. Right here. Okay, so this is a perfect example. Okay, check this out. Okay, look at this. So this is it gapped up the next day, right? Okay, so there's people here, right? They're chilling, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I like my position. This is awesome. Yeah, this is cool." And then boom, this happens. Okay. And then all of a sudden, this guy is like, "Fuck! I didn't get my whole position. Why did you guys go ahead and break off?"
Right.
Like, and I'm like, I'm only in 25%, right? So what is this dude doing? He's gonna leave his orders here, and he's gonna be like, "Well, I want to get in full."
Unfilled buy orders.
Right. So I want to get it. I want to get in full. So if this shit ever gets back down here, I'm gonna get filled. Right. I'm gonna stop being like a little bitch and put in my full order. Right. Because I don't want to ride this out at only 10%.
Right.
Right. Well, look what happened. The price gets down back into this zone. Homeboy is like, "All right, here's my moment. This is my moment." Right.
All or nothing.
Boom, his entire order gets filled. Right. So now it goes up. And now he's like, "All right, I'm in here full." Right.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "All right, well, I got in. Now let me sell it."
Yeah.
See what happens. But this is it. This is what happens. You know.
Exactly.
So this was a gap up. You know, these guys who are not in full are like, "Fuck, I'm missing out." Or like, even if you don't have a position, imagine how much you feel like you're missing out. Right. So, when it gets back in here, you're gonna have your orders get filled.
Yes, absolutely. Unfilled buy and sell orders. That's kind of the idea.
But yeah, that's
Yeah, he
you know,
says that's a good
that's it.
explanation. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. I think that is pretty damn good for tonight. I want to say thank you, Mr. Roboto Trades, for coming out. I appreciate you, sir.
Yeah, man, for sure.
We'll have you back on soon. I just want to let everybody know we will be making a YouTube video soon. It's going to come out on my channel. And it's going to be all about supply and demand, from the basics to maybe a little bit of intermediate sort of level. All right. Yeah, you expect that soon. And then, Mr. Roboto Trades, is there anything you'd like to plug? This video itself will be going on YouTube as well. So if you'd like to plug anything, that would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure, man. I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter, but my Twitter is Mr. Roboto Trades.
Yep, let me get that up.
I have a lot of free content on there. I post a lot of my thoughts intraday to kind of like help people out. And my content is a mix. It's not a lot of alerts and stuff, but it's a lot of like emotional, things that you should be considering throughout the day. And then, I will post like some setups and some charts that I'm looking at too. And then, so I have a link there. Feel free to check it out. So I do have a Discord now. There's a couple of there's a lot of traders in there. We're always doing large cap options. I do a pre-market watch list. We'll hop on voice, a couple times a week, and I walk a lot of people through the morning open and whatnot. Yeah, so if you're interested in that, hit me up on Twitter or DM me or something, and we'll figure it out.
Where can they find the link for the Discord that you're in?
If you click Linktree right there.
Right here.
That link right there.
Perfect.
Boom, right there. It's all there. All my stuff, like, so the bottom two, supply and demand education, it's like my Twitch and my YouTube. But if you're interested in Discord, obviously there's a link up there too.
Perfect. Awesome. Good stuff. Yeah, that's it. Unless anyone has any questions, I just want to thank you again, sir, for coming on. This was really good. I really appreciate this. I think there's a lot of knowledge dropped here. It's a very valuable video. Please go out on Twitter and hit my guy, Mr. Roboto Trades, with the follow, okay? Look how close he is to 3,000, all right? We got 47 people in here. That's going to get him damn close. So please, everybody go hit him with the follow. Join up in the Discord where he gives you his greatest ideas, and you can kind of follow along. I know he has a lot of stuff planned in the background that's going to be coming out soon. So that'll be where you can stay in tune with that, and make sure you hit that bell and all that good stuff. Yeah, thank you, sir, for coming on. I appreciate you. And I guess have a good night. And, I guess you'll be making your watch list after this. That's pretty sweet.
I don't know, man. It's getting kind of late.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I'll wake up early or something. But hey, man, I really appreciate you inviting me out here, man.
Absolutely, bro.
Good people's, good audience, always like fucking around. So we'll see.
Man.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll have you on again soon. Yeah, like I said, we're good pals, at least on camera anyway. You don't want to know what we say to each other behind the scenes.
Yeah, you don't want to know that. But all right, man. I'll hit you up next time. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you later.
Sounds good, bro. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, traders. That was Mr. Roboto Trades. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Hope you learned something. This will be up on YouTube, so please hit up my YouTube channel. Here it is. And we'll be coming out with a supply and demand video on YouTube as well, coming soon. And it's going to be a short video. It's going to be like packed together, like 15 minutes. So you don't want to miss that video. If you want to learn a little bit more than you learned tonight. Great stream. Thank you, Colonel. Thank you, Really Is God. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. I truly appreciate it. Next leg up. And thank you guys for asking questions as well. I appreciate you. Banger music, you know. One other thing. Tomorrow morning, I will be going live for a live day trading stream. It's going to be live at around 7 to 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Sounds like the end of an 80s movie. You know. Okay. So join me tomorrow morning for some live day trading. I'm going to walk you guys through my scanner. We're going to find some good setups. Boy, I'll be asleep. I'll be streaming 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then I got to jump off at 10 a.m. because I do work 11 to 7 tomorrow. Alrighty. I'll see you guys in the morning. Please make sure you hit the follow. Make sure you subscribed. Will it be recorded, buddy? You bet your ass it will be. I love and appreciate every single one of you guys. And I stream every single god dang day. Alrighty. We will see you in the next one. I love you. Mr. Roboto Trades and 100 out.